This is the old fire poker coal mover that I used in my charcoal forge and coal forge before. It was a real just quick job to move stuff around. So I'm going to straighten this out and then we'll get to where we should be to start working on a fire poker. Once this part here is hammered out nice and thin, the plan is to split it down the middle and curl one part back to be the hook and elongate the other part to be the poker. Whenever you're cutting metal, make sure you have some sort of plate so you don't cut your anvil's face up. And you can see I use a pretty soft piece of metal, and that's so that I don't destroy the edge on my chisel. So because this is so much softer than the chisel, when I cut through a piece of metal and it bites into this, this gets wrecked. My chisel doesn't. It saves me a lot of maintenance, so I don't need to keep sharpening my chisel all the time. Right down the middle. Once I've cut most of the way through it like that and I have something started, I'll flip it over to the back side and start cutting in from behind to complete the cut. See how nicely that just splits the metal there. The split done, one side's going to become the poker, one side's going to become the hook. I'm just going to pick one side. Say, all right, you're going to be the poker now. So we'll take the hook and start to shape it over the horn. See, I'm moving it on the horn and striking straight into the horn, and that's going to move metal really fast and draw that out. Alright, with it nicely drawn out, hammer down your point, start to round it a little bit. Round it by hitting it on both sides, you get a square, you turn it a little bit. Keep going. Finish out the hook on the horn by striking on over instead of hitting the horn. I'm striking past the horn. It just, as Bob Ross says, it's automatic. You just get that hook shape. You can kind of bring it back to as big or as small as you want it to be. Thinking about using this for campfires, so I want a hook that's big enough to grab a log. Poker, I'm going to draw the whole thing out just a little bit. Then I'm going to step down the tip of the poker. I'm putting it just off the anvil. Make that little step down. Draw the rest of it on the horn like before. Alright, so while I was straightening out the poking part, I kind of bent the hook part back, and that's alright. We'll just give it another heat, come back and fix that. Just come back to the anvil here, around the horn. Remember that little hook back to where it should be. There we have it. Open it up just a tad. When you strike directly on the anvil, it kind of opens that up. When you strike just past the horn, you're going to curve it. So I have this hook that I want, this poker that I want, and that is pretty much it. I can do whatever I want to do with the body of this thing. I can leave it so that you can tell what it was made from, or I can clean it up. But that, once it's cool, because this is just barely steel. It's basically iron. It's called mild steel. Don't need to heat treat it. Don't need to worry about it. Plus, it's going to get stuck into a fire. It'll probably get red hot someday. Doesn't really matter. We'll just leave it just like that, and it'll function as is.